All right, you guys, today we are talking about law of attraction. I have created a great lesson on law of attraction. I'm super excited to share it with you. Do me a favor, if you're in the room, please just tap the screen. That's all I ask of you is just tap the screen. And if there's someone that you think could benefit from this material, share it out. My feeling very much is the more healed we have, the better the world looks. Sometimes we just need a little bit of understanding and clarity, and that's my goal with this class. When I am reading my lesson, I am going to tell you, I have to look down and read because A, I can't memorize all of this, and B, I get very distracted very easy, as you all know. So I'm going to be looking down and reading my lesson. Please hold your questions. Do not forget your question. Write it down or something. Hold your questions till the end. If I don't have the answer to your question, we'll put it to the collective and we'll get an answer for you in some form by the end of the session, but don't forget your questions. I do have a moderator in the room. Be Mind Melts and More is my mod, and if you have anything that you need, please tag her. She can usually give you the right answer, or she can help you hang on until I can be done. There she is. That's my mod right there. Be Mind Melts and More. All right, you guys. So today we are talking about the law of attraction. And for me, this was a particularly difficult thing to understand. And I don't know what it was now, looking back. I don't know what it was that I was hung up on. I couldn't tell you. I don't remember. But I just remember struggling mightily with this. Like, I'm saying all the right things. I'm doing all the right things. Why isn't it happening kind of feeling, right? And I think a lot of people feel that way with law of attraction. So I kind of want to tie it into string theory, quantum mechanics, that sort of thing, and kind of give you an overview of everything. All right, so ready? Ready? I'm ready. Let's do it. And I'm wearing my intention sweater today. I love it. My sweatshirt keeping me nice and warm. All right. Okay. Oh, thank you, Jackie. Thank you. Okay. The concept of the law of attraction has been around since time immemorial. Ever since human beings started seeking emotional and spiritual fulfillment, so who knows how long. The idea is simple, yet many people find it difficult to grasp, especially those who are caught up in the complexities of their own minds. Hello, me. They tend to overlook it only to rediscover it again and again over the years. And the meaning behind that phrase is sometimes you think you have a grasp on something, you think you understand something, but the more you learn about it, the more you realize you only knew the tip of the iceberg, that what you knew was incomplete. Thank you for that, you guys. Thank you for the gifts. I appreciate them. Thank you so much. Please tap the screen. Don't forget. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Squirrel. Okay. Although the law of attraction is a concept that has gained popularity in recent years, its roots can be traced back to various traditional beliefs and spiritual teachings. At its core, the law of attraction states that like attract like. Like attracts like. It's an echo chamber. It's just a giant echo chamber. And the thoughts and energies that you emit into the universe will attract similar energies and experiences into your life. One of the earliest connections to this idea can be found in Hindu philosophy, specifically the concept of karma. Now, I want to be very careful with this because karma is not about retribution, it's about balance. So don't look at it like, I killed you in this life, we're going to reincarnate together again, and you're going to kill me, and that ties off the karma. That genuinely doesn't do anything for the karma. Thank you, Debbie. That doesn't do anything for the karma but transfer it between the two of you, and now you both have it. So keep that in mind. All right. Well, I lost my place already. In Hinduism, karma is the law of cause and effect, suggesting that our actions, thoughts, and intentions have consequences, need balance, which in turn shapes our future experiences. This aligns with the foundational principles of law of attraction, emphasizing the importance of positive thinking and positive intention. Thank you, Debbie. I appreciate that. In addition to Hinduism, various other spiritual traditions and philosophies share similar ideas with the law of attraction. For instance, in the realm of New Thought or New Age spiritual movements, a spiritual movement that emerged in the 19th century, there is a strong focus on the power of the mind to shape one's reality. New Thought teachers like Ernest Holmes and Napoleon Hill stress the importance of positive thinking and the belief that thoughts have the power to manifest desired outcomes. American neuroscientist, I'm going to say his name wrong, you know how I am with names, Benjamin Libet, L-A-B-E-T, Benjamin Libet, conducted a set of experiments in the 1980s which have since been repeated many times. These experiments demonstrated that the brain's motor cortex initiates actions well before the conscious mind is even aware of them, and well before they are performed. This experiment made it clear that our willingness or desire to do something is an illusion created by the mind, and that it is in fact our unconscious mind that is in control. Yes, AJ, I was just going to say, I'm going to repeat that for everybody in the back, okay? American neuroscientist Benjamin Libet, L-A-B-E-T, conducted a set of experiments in the 1980s which have since been repeated many times. These experiments demonstrated that the brain's motor cortex initiates actions well before the conscious mind is even aware of them and well before they are performed. This experiment made it clear that our willingness or desire to do something is an illusion created by the mind, and that it is in fact our unconscious mind that is in control. So they measured this by measuring the impulses, the electrical impulses in certain regions in the brain when certain tasks were being performed. So it's the idea of breathing, right? Like you don't think to yourself, I need to breathe, breathe. I need to breathe, breathe. I need to breathe, breathe. It's the same idea with your subconscious or your unconscious mind sending signals to your conscious mind or your brain, your human brain, telling you what you want to do. So that's this experiment, and this scientist was basically just proving that everything originates outside of the human mind. It's not an original thought in here that you're doing. It's something that came to you from somewhere else. It's a fascinating experiment. I was going to say experience, but I didn't do the experience. It's a fascinating experiment, and I would highly suggest that if you're interested in it, that you look it up and take a look at what he says, because it is quite fascinating. Just remind you guys, please tap the screen while you're in here. It helps get this out to more people. I really, really appreciate it. So, to get back to our lesson, just imagine if we had to consciously will every action in our daily lives. We would have to consciously control every muscle, ligament, tendon, and neurochemical, and then synchronize how everything flexed, turned, and twisted. We would also have to consciously coordinate the supporting muscles, blood, digestion of food, and movement of glucose and oxygen to feed the muscles, and then burn it to generate energy for the action. It would be absolutely impossible, and we would all be paralyzed because we would be spending all our time trying to think of everything that our body needs to do. So when you're thinking about law of attraction, you want to think about it in terms of how your body functions, right? Your body functions a lot of the ways unconsciously. You don't think about breathing or digesting or any of that stuff. It just happens as like automated things. You're moving forward through this. And the law of attraction is very similar, except that it's an idea coming from outside of you. It's learning to control those ideas that are really tricky. Just throwing that out there. All of these processes occur at an unconscious level beyond our control, which is the same unconscious that is connected to the spirit or the collective consciousness, right? Hey, everybody. The law of attraction derives its power from our psychic unity. In simpler terms, the effectiveness of the law of attraction depends on how much interference we receive from our unconscious mind. We can use the analogy of an iceberg to understand the concept of the psyche. Just like an iceberg has 10% of its mass visible above the water, similar to our conscious mind, while the other 90% is submerged underwater, like our unconscious mind, our mind also has conscious and unconscious components. If you desire to have a successful relationship, but the 90% of your mind is unconsciously sabotaging this goal, then your conscious desire will not materialize. Therefore, it is critical to align your conscious and unconscious minds to achieve your desired outcome. This goes along with the idea that it's about what you feel and not about what you say. You can say all day long, want to be, I can't wait till I have all the money in the world. I can't wait until I'm in abundance. I can't wait until this, you can put this out there, but if you're saying it from a place of lack, you're literally sending out that feeling of lack into the universe, and you will get reflections of that feeling of lack in your life. It is not just about saying the words. It's about finding a way to feel that feeling that you want. And I understand this is where I got hung up. People have trouble with this all the time, and I get it. It's really hard to think, I have everything I need. I am living an abundant life. I'm provided for and cared for when you're struggling to pay your bills. Believe me, I get it because I'm there with you. But it's not about lying to yourself. It's about finding something else to focus on in that moment that gives you that feeling. It's not about trying to lie to yourself and fake it till you make it. I mean, if you want to do, what are they called? Affirmations, that's very helpful. You're trying to train your brain, but you have to believe them, and you have to believe the feeling you have. You can't say, I want a romantic partner that makes me feel loved and appreciated and cared for, while also feeling that you don't deserve love, care, and appreciation. Do you see what I'm saying? That splits your energy right in half, and it's going to do nothing. But if you're struggling with feeling that in a relationship, you don't have to feel that feeling in a relationship to attract more feeling to you. I hope that makes sense. It's not about finding it in the relationship. It's about finding those feelings in something else. If your job gives you a feeling of being joyful and appreciated and cared for, then focus on those feelings at your job. You don't have to focus on them just in a relationship. Remember, law of attraction is bringing you reflections of what you put your focus on. It's not reflections of focus of my job appreciates me. It's reflections of focus of being appreciated, which can then translate into many different aspects of your life. I hope that made sense. Okay, good. Thank you. Look, gracefully, I got it on again. It's so comfy. All right. The law of attraction has also found connections in modern physics, particularly through the intriguing concept of string theory. Okay, I love string theory. String theory is a branch of theoretical physics that suggests that the universe is made up of tiny vibrating strings of energy. And I want to get into this just a teeny tiny bit, okay? Because there was an intuitive, a psychic, and I can't remember her name. I want to say it was Marianne Williams, but I could be wrong. And she talked about these vibrating strings, these strings of vibration that we all have around us, and that when they clump together, they pull things to them, right? They attract like things. So if you send out a string of vibration of grief, right, it'll find another one and they'll clump together. When you have 3 of them, they start to pull others, it's hard to explain right now, but she was talking basically about string theory. The idea of string theory is that how you have an atom, which we say is the smallest particle, or we used to say is smallest particle, but it's not. Because when you think of an atom, you think of a nucleus. Inside the nucleus, that's made up of particles called quarks. Inside of those quarks, it is theorized that the quarks are made up of these tiny strings, and that these strings attract each other based on commonality, right? That, in a nutshell, is string theory, friends. So when you think about law of attraction and vibration, it stands to reason that if everything is vibration, like the strings in string theory, not only would it work on a microscopic level, but it would translate and work on a macroscopic level in your life as well, okay? Some proponents of the law of attraction argue that the vibrational nature of the universe, as described by string theory, aligns with the idea that thoughts and intentions emit specific frequencies. They suggest that by aligning your thoughts and emotions with the frequencies you desire, you can influence the universe to bring about corresponding experiences. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's like attracts like. So you have these little strings of vibration going on inside the atoms in your body. And if those strings of vibration are carrying a frequency of lack, of sadness, of grief, of whatever, then they will continue to attract those things to them, okay? Excuse me, I forgot my water. That's okay, I don't need it. All right, so now I want to get into 3 essential principles of law of attraction. Excuse me. For these 3 essential principles, I did consult with lonerwolf.com. Yes, we are just an antenna, Jessica, 100%. I did consult with lonerwolf.com, so keep that in mind. They're a big resource of mine. I'm constantly looking to them for information, so I highly recommend them. Just as a reminder, please tap the screen while you're in here just to get this out to people. I appreciate it very much. Even if you tap yourself out and have to come back, it's okay. All right, so 3 essential principles of law of attraction. To be accountable and to be responsible are the 2 ultimate lessons of the law of attraction. The reality is that we influence the external world just as much as the external world influences us, right? It's ironic that so many valuable spiritual concepts so frequently end up being used as ways to avoid and escape responsibility, when in fact it's the opposite they are trying to teach. There is no magical wand that can change things, and we don't have any superpowers that can provide us with a comfortable sense of control over the external world, and that there aren't superior beings out there protecting us from evil. Wait, where did I put these? Oh, sorry. I wrote this paragraph and then I skipped a paragraph, so I'm sorry. Right, Liberty Friday? The energy today is off the chain. All right. So I'll get back to the 3. I'm going to get back to the 3 essential principles. I'm going to read this little bit and then I'll get onto that. Thank you, Nana Babes. The concept of the law of attraction is not a new one, yet it is often disregarded or forgotten due to its straightforward nature. Its foundation is rooted in various religious texts and is commonly referred to as the Golden Rule. And here are some examples. In Hinduism, they say this is the sum of dharma or order. Do not unto others which would cause you pain if done to you. Sound familiar? Christianity says, therefore all things whatsoever ye would that men should do to you, do ye even so to them. For this is the law and the prophets. With all the ye's and these and those, you know, they're just saying be nice, okay? Confucius says, try your best to treat others as you wish to be treated yourself, and you will find that this is the shortest way to benevolence. Makes sense, right? Judaism says, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself, right? Buddhism, hurt not others in ways that you yourself would find hurtful. Taoism, regard your neighbor's gain as your own gain and your neighbor's loss as your own loss, right? So those are all examples of different religious teachings that are basically all talking about law of attraction, talking about the same thing, the golden rule, treat others as you want to be treated because you get back what you put out, right? I'm just saying, it's not, this isn't new. This isn't a new age spiritualism thing, as lots of people who are not part of this movement like to say. It's new age, it's not real, it's blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry, but it's been around for thousands and thousands of years, and it's in all of your spiritual teachings. It's just, do you have the eyes to see it? You know what I'm saying? All right, so now I want to get back to the 3 essential principles of law of attraction. So number one of the 3 essential principles, whatever we focus on expands. As my friend Brian says, and I always say it backwards, where your focus goes is where your energy flows, right? That's an easy way to remember. Where your focus goes is where your energy flows, my friends. As humans, we are often bombarded by our thoughts and external stimuli, which can make us feel like our attention is limited to a tunnel vision. All the obligations, all the things you think you have to do, everything right here. I love the hearts coming out of the top of my head. When we focus on the negative aspects of our lives, we tend to unconsciously look for evidence to support these thoughts. This is called unconscious bias, or it's also called confirmation bias. On the other hand, when we focus on the positive aspects, we tend to develop more confidence and cultivate a lighter energy within ourselves. This is the idea that when you start going down a drain, right? When you start your day off, thank you, Pia. When you start your day off feeling like you're having a crummy day, how many people in here continue to feel like they have a crummy day all day? Because it's like, of course I would get stuck at every red light because I'm having a shit day. Of course everybody's in line at Dunkin' Donuts because I'm having a terrible day. Of course. We're just sending out there, I'm having a bad day, I'm having a bad day, I'm having a bad day, I'm having a bad day. And it's constantly, it's like rippling out from us and bringing all of that evidence back to us. Everything you're going to get when you're stuck in that mind frame is evidence of that bad day, right? This is one of the reasons why I'm actively working on saying to myself, today is a good day. Not today is going to be a good day, because that puts it somewhere in the future, but saying today is a good day so that I can get reflections of that back to me. Does it work 100% of the time? Of course not, because life. However, I am learning to take what happens as it needed to happen that way. What can I learn from this? What is it trying to show me? What is the shadow aspect that I'm going through? I'm really doing a lot of digging with this. So saying things like today is a good day has been extremely helpful for me, and it's just leaving out like 2 words. Instead of going to be a good day, just today is a good day. Let's work on your hand, right? Number 2 of the 3 essential principles of law of attraction. Number 2, what we manifest, we embody, okay? To obtain what we desire, we must first transform ourselves into what we aspire to be. This is the idea of you have to feel good first. This is something Esther Hicks talks about incessantly. You must find a way to feel good where you are first, okay? For instance, if we seek more love in our lives, we must first love ourselves and share more love with others. By becoming more loving, we attract more love into our lives. Conversely, if we manifest fear of a situation, we end up becoming afraid even before the actual fear materializes. Okay? So it's the idea of whatever you are focused on is what you're going to get results of. If you have a hard time loving yourself for who you truly are, it is going to be difficult to bring someone to you who is going to love you for who you truly feel you are, because you can't even do it. How can you expect anyone else to do it? You know what I'm saying? So it very much goes back to the idea of you have to feel good first. You don't like your day job? Congratulations. Welcome to the world. Most of us don't, right? You want to do something else with your life? Wonderful. I hope it works out for you. But you have to find a way to feel good doing what you're doing first, even if it's just something small. I feel really good when I go to work and I walk into my very own office. Even if there's a lot of work to do, you got to walk into that office. Deshaun, a lot of the time it's difficult to manifest because what you're saying and what you're feeling are not the same thing. And also keep in mind, we still live in a physical world. You can't think that you want something and then have it appear. It's not magic. We do have to live by the rules of physical reality, right? It's a lot about how you feel, what you're putting out there, what you are genuinely feeling, you know? Do something to make your inner child happy. Absolutely. If you're stuck at work and you're having a terrible day and you just feel like you're going down that drain, stop what you're doing. Give yourself permission for 10 minutes to do something completely different and shift your focus. All right. So number 3 of the 3 essential rules, 3 essential principles of law of attraction. Number 3, what we embody, we attract. Goes along with everything we're saying. Most of my experiences with energy work has involved dealing with disharmonious energy patterns within individuals. If we consider the world and all phenomena as energy that has taken on some form to manifest itself, then we must also consider ourselves as part of this energy system. So if you're walking around angry, regardless of why, you're going to attract anger. Do you understand what I'm saying? You are what you see in the world. Everything is a reflection for you. It's like looking in a mirror everywhere you go. I'm just saying. This little bit, which I thought was really interesting, in the Incan tradition, it is believed that energies have weight, meaning that you can carry heavy negative energies or lighter positive energies. However, Only humans create heavy energies, as all other living energy exists in perfect harmony and reciprocity with existence, as they don't perceive themselves as apart from it. So animals, plants, all that stuff does not see itself as apart or different from nature. And so they don't create this heavy energy. It's just us, because we see ourselves as separate for whatever reason. That's a whole nother thing. Oh, thank you, Nicole. So yes, I do love my Lego plants. My son made those for me. Hey, Rachel. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. We're talking about law of attraction today. All right. So get back to where I was. To understand this better, imagine a heavy object in the center of a trampoline and someone placing a bowling ball on one corner of the trampoline. The ball will roll towards the center where the heavy object is. The same is true when it comes to energy and nature. Heavy negative energy attracts other heavy negative energy, while those who embody lighter energy will flow through life without much resistance. Thank you, Gypsy Gal. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has days. Everybody. I don't care. I've had people comment on my videos, I never have a bad day. Congratulations. I don't believe you. Like, everybody has bad days. Mother Teresa said she had bad days. If Mother Teresa has a bad day, good Lord. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's had bad days. Hi, JP. I love you so much. Everybody has a bad day. What it's about for me is acknowledging how I feel, not trying to talk myself out of it, and finding why I feel it as quickly as possible. Or if I can't figure out why I feel that way and change it, I have to change my focus. Focus on something else that feels better. If I'm having a really terrible day at Big Girl Job, like really terrible, I will take a half day and leave because I cannot. I will start to go down the rabbit hole. Or if I'm having a disagreement with my son or my husband or whoever, I will do my best to end the argument so that I can get out of it and focus on something else. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Feeling energy when it's repulsed like a polarity. How do we handle the magnetic pull away, draw from? I'm not sure I understand your question. Well, thank you, Polly. I love having you as part of my journey. Thank you so much. I'm not sure I understand your question, but hang on to your question, okay, Rachel, because I will answer questions in just a little bit. I want to finish what I got here, and then I will definitely answer your question, or we'll work on it together. All right, so going back to what I was saying, heavy negative energy attracts other heavy negative energy, while those who embody lighter energy will flow through life without much resistance. This does not mean avoiding or rejecting negative aspects within ourselves, such as our shadow, right? What it means is that we must become aware of all of our negative aspects to fully self-accept them before we can go beyond them. In the analogy I gave above, this means grabbing the bowling ball in our hands so our weight is balanced before we decide to jump, right? Taking control of what you're feeling, understanding why you feel it, and then pulling out the trigger, right? Yes. It's very much the idea of you are in control of your energy. Stop giving your power away to other people by being in victim mode, first of all, because let me think of a delicate way to say this. My understanding is that every single thing in your life happens for a reason and a purpose. That we attract what happens to us based on the lessons we need to learn and the issues that we're holding on to. And that sometimes those things are really terrible. And people ask me, I would never attract this to myself. Well, yeah, not on purpose, right? I'm not saying you're doing it on purpose. I'm not saying you're a masochist. I'm just saying that when your energy is focused on everything going wrong in the world, if you're focused on the wars, if you're focused on poverty, if you're focused on not having enough, if you're focused on the arguments and all the discourse in the world, you are only ever going to be seeing evidence of all of that in your world. Me choosing not to focus on the war is not about pretending it's not happening. It's about choosing to not give it my energy. because I don't want to send energy to something I don't want to manifest for myself or in my reality. Me saying that I am constructing my own reality is not saying that I can't am unaware of the reality outside of myself. But it is saying I understand I only have control over this much of it. And if I focus on this much of it, on everything outside of that, I'm going to lose control of the little bit that I do have. Therefore, I choose to focus on the little bit I do have control over and let go of the focus on everything I have no control over. That's what the idea of focusing and creating your own reality is about. That does not mean that contrast doesn't happen in the reality I'm creating. The contrast that happens in the reality I'm creating is coming from my own resistance, my own issues that I need to work for. You understand what I'm saying? The practical application of the law of attraction involves focusing on your desires and intentions, maintaining a positive mindset, and visualizing the life you want to manifest. By doing so, proponents believe you can attract positive opportunities and experiences into your life. While the idea remains controversial and debated, many people find value in using the law of attraction as a tool for personal growth, motivation, and manifesting their goals and dreams. Ultimately, whether through spiritual beliefs, scientific theories, or personal practice, the law of attraction underscores the power of our thoughts and intentions in shaping the reality we experience.